Opera Y.
Absolutely fine, but didn't you just say you've had this issue before?
Shh. Yeah, and it was totally fine up until I had the issue that time as well. Fine, I guess I'll open Google Chrome because I hate myself. Opera is awesome. Opera crashes. Yeah. Okay. Was the seed randomized? The seeds are always randomized. So, whilst they are racing seeded, they're both on the same seed. They've never seen the seed before. It looks like we're about to get underway. Okie doke, and we're off and running. So, Progus versus Mint. Progus, I think his last entrance into a tournament was NocDOR, and Mint, I don't think we've seen since the World Cup, unless I'm mistaken. I'm sure he was in the World Cup.
Going to swap on Progus' side over to that Obsidian Anchor from the Blood Shop.
It is a really strong weapon. Dropping your Cutlass early on, I think if you're gonna, you gotta get something with a lot of damage. Probably like the ideal swap, actually. You know, it's a familiar weapon, high damage, you know how to use it. In saying that, Progus trying to prove me wrong. Taking a lot of damage there.
Oh, and for the third race running, we have a Zone 1 Shrine of Darkness here.
Yeah, Blimp, you rigging this. You got something to do with this. And then you can see here, actually, so as Nocturna, you don't get to use any of your items, which means that that Ring of Darkness doesn't come into effect when you're the bat. Oh, he was in Revenge of Condor, you're quite right, thank you, Goof.
Yeah, Progus kind of making a little bit of a misstep there, eating the cookies down to, you know, one left, with a perfectly good apple on the floor. But, yeah, just a minor mistake. Not gonna cost me too much.
Yeah, just a little thing.
Mint kind of messing up the Coral Rift fight. Gonna lose the Flawless, so losing the chance to get off this Ring of Darkness. It's Ring of Shadows, rather. Gonna be checking the shop, finding a Titanium Harp, Glass Slippers, Shovel of Courage.
Oh, that is nice. I imagine the Shovel of Courage with the Harp must be like a really, like potentially a really good synergy. Just being able to kind of scoot around walls and then bop things and then move over one.
Yeah, it could be. Can't say I've, you know, had experience with that combination myself, but it could maybe work out pretty nicely.
Yeah, we'll need to see. We'll need to keep our eyes peeled. See if anyone takes to do that today.
And that 2-2 shop, not really offering anything worthwhile. Just gonna pass on it.
Yeah, I'm. Not quite sure about the random batting on Mint side. Wonder what that's all about.
Yeah, still gonna be checking all these shops. There's a Shrine of Peace right below him that he could bomb for Ring of Peace. Looks like he's gonna do just that. Finally, you know, get his vision back.
Yeah, and you know, of all the rings you can find, that Ring of Peace way nicer, as opposed to Progus, who's having to stick with the Ring of Charisma, which is just, yeah, it's not so great. He does have what will be a 2-floor lead here now, though.
And though breaking the Crown of Teleportation to it, I was talking about earlier, Cutlass doesn't really protect you against the Mushroom Spores.
Yeah, no, things like the Mushroom Spores, the Clappas, Clap, fireballs, whether it's from wall pigs or dragons, that kind of thing. You know, non-physical attacks. It doesn't really do anything for you.
Progus getting booped out of the trapdoor arena with the Crown of Teleportation as well. Just gonna leave the dragon sitting in there by the looks of it.
Gonna work out really well. Yeah, probably, you know, saved yourself what can be a bit of a spooky fight. Progus, he did have the kill there as well on this Deep Blues fight. Did have the quick kill, decided not to go for it.
Alright, very fast zone 3 though. Just endless trapdoors.
Yeah, exactly. Mint on 3-3, so really pulling back some time. That's a better ring. Ring of War with this Obsidian Rapier. Oh boy, this is a combination. Blade Master's gonna be a pain, but everything else just a delight.
I think that that Ring of Peace really putting in work for Mint though, starting to close the gap a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be interesting to see what his Zone 4 looks like by comparison. Okay, Progus losing a fair bit of time here trying to take care of this Blade Master.
Gonna have to watch out for these queens though. Okay, just gonna go back to human form, that's fine. Yeah, unfortunately, again, Ring of Peace not really giving you much mileage from bat healing because that empty heart container, leaving and returning as empty.
Exactly.
From Ring of Peace.
That's it's a meme, is what it is. It's a really nice find for Progus. Oh, there's an Obsidian Axe. You don't take that. You don't take it, but it would be nice if you did. But yeah,
kind of sidetracked here, just going into side rooms, getting chased around by that devil. Oh, Ring of Courage though.
I think
we're gonna see Progus go for it.
Has to remember. Oh, swapping off our rings mid this fight. Oh, that's a bit spooky. Manages to get away with it. He's going to be on his way down to 4-3. Mint's closing the gap. He's just in the exit room of 4-1. How does the axe work? If you have an enemy in a tile in front of you, immediately in front of you, then it's just a dagger. But if that's unobstructed, then you lunge like a rapier, but you don't do double damage, and it hits 3 tiles wide instead of 1.
Yeah, you want to look at it as a T shape.
Yeah.
Protruding out from your character. Ooh, I think Mint not realizing that there was an arena there. Just kind of stumbling into it for a brief moment. Meanwhile, Progus on Conga. Taking some hits, though, from the bombers.
No flawless for him, unfortunately. Just
gonna bat form this? I'm not sure I agree with that.
That's a spooky decision. Oh, yep. And then the human, and then of course the white as soon as you're human.
Panicking and just freezing up. Going into emergency bat form. Has to be really careful here in those bounce traps. Gonna do Mint in.
Yeah, that Warlock kind of rope-a-doped him. So he's back to the start, unfortunately. So Progus, with a hefty lead, just needs to play this nice and slow. You should take those slide boots. You can afford them. You're not wasting any time by grabbing them. You are now that you've passed the shot, but yeah. And you can see as well, Progus managed to pick up a Shovel of Strength, so +1 damage, and you can see those big digs. Oh man, just using the conduit effectively is just, it feels so good. It's such a rewarding thing.
Yeah, just plowing through that whole exit swarm there. No problem.
Yeah, let's see. It's not going to be through there, Progus. You can rule out both of those rooms. In fact, he has mapping.
I think he's just kind of dig buffering out of habit.
Okay, yeah,
you can see where the exit is. He has the residual items from Shrine of Darkness.
Yeah, he's still got his map and his cutlass, and we do have Fortissimo. Fortissimo music is playing as well. One of the Girlfriend Records versions. I'm so happy that there's 3 versions. That's so cool. Okie dokie.
And yep, there we go.
Yep, Progus.
First game goes to Progus.
Yep, 743.91, so a point on the board for Progus. 756 RTA. Pretty good times. Pretty good times for your first, the first Nocturna tournament that hasn't involved people that have been playing the game for a while. So far we've seen the beginnings of what's going to probably become quite an interesting meta.
Yeah, not really seeing a whole lot of the transformation iframe abuse that we were talking about earlier on. But we still got a few more races to go through, so maybe we'll see someone who really knows how to, put the pedal to the metal and use that to its fullest.
Yeah, exactly. I think if I had to put my money on anyone out of the bunch of races we have here, I'd probably be looking at Mayuma, Goof. Dreamy really surprised me. I was expecting Para to put down some pretty sweet strats, but you know, those are probably the people to look at for the kind of advanced Nocturna strats at this point of release. Oh, sorry about that. That's the sound of me drinking tea. Jill's music video of the Fortissimo track just came out. Oh man, I'm gonna watch that once we're done here. That's gonna be sick. Sorry, Pirate. It's not meant as any kind of major slight on you. The shopkeeper death was pretty rough, yeah. But we're off and running here. So Progus91 round 2. Let's see what they can do for us. Interesting back usage there from Mint. More of a waste of time than anything, unfortunately.
Okay. We need to have a discussion about Shrine of Darkness.
Is there... Oh. Okay. Blimp. Come on. Come on. That's just... Oh.
We're gonna have a whole lot of darkness this tournament.
Yeah, it's got to the point where, like, it's less of a, there's darkness. It's like, oh crap, there might actually be a bug. Called it Malevolence. Yeah, great track name. But yeah, let's see. Blood Shop here. Mint's gonna go into... No, it's 1-3. It's gonna be a glass shop. My mistake. No, it's not.
I'm gonna, get some free transmogs off here. Probably looking for Shovel of Strength if I had to guess. And there it is.
Yep, nice.
And I'm gonna transmog off the ring. Now has a nice 3 damage Cutlass. Does have to be a little careful with that knockback though. It could result in some beats where you're unexpectedly not attacking enemies. So gotta be careful with that because you might miss some crucial parries. But otherwise, 3 damage Cutlass is definitely a very strong place to be. Just gonna let him clean up that deep blues, no problem. Doesn't even have to spend a bomb or anything.
Yeah, exactly. Just going back to that 3 damage Cutlass is beautiful. Ring of War is probably the ring you don't want with it. You're looking for something more along the lines of either Pain or Courage. But 3 damage is 3 damage. You just got to be a bit wary about the knockback.
Yeah, Cutlass already in itself is going to let you tank hits from whatever it is you're attacking. And War's knockback trait kind of prevents the enemy you're attacking from hitting you. It's a really kind of unnecessary stacking going on there.
Let's see here. Okay, gonna kill this Mint.
And
good
now
decision.
We're 5 damage Cutlass, at least until he misses a beat.
Yeah, I gotta say, I really like the spiked ears. I think they're in a good place as well. There are maybe a couple more situations I would like to see them broken, but it's hard to be too harsh on them. The one change I do want to see.
Confident with this build, not even going to check the chests.
I think that's a good decision. I mean, you're doing 5 damage, you've got your Cutlass, you have full mapping. What else do you really need? You have a free spell as well, You're stacked at this point. This is... If it wasn't a race, which is spooky, this is probably a 1 run.
Yeah, there we go again, Cutlass doesn't protect against non-melee attacks, just kind of, sitting there poking at goes a shove monster, eating some Yeti claps there.
Yeah, and I mean, look at that, just one hit
Popping
killing.
The freeze to erase the hot coals just to be safe.
That's a beautiful move. An underused move as well.
And meanwhile, Progus, much like a pretty safe build with that Ring of Peace, but only 1 damage on the Cutlass means he's going to be struggling to keep up the pace.
Yeah, Mint really with a nice lead here that's only going to get bigger. He's just about to hop down onto 4-1. Progus is on 3-2, and it's slow in terms of getting through. Taking a couple of hits here as well. Does manage to get through it, uses his food, and he's down on at 3-3.
Okay, man, you gotta decide about Ring of Pain here, because every time you do that, I don't know if you noticed, but you are taking a little bit of a hit every time you pick that back up.
Yeah, half a heart of damage is no joke. I don't hate it. I would probably personally take the Pain instead. I'll be honest. If I'm Mint, I'm maybe using my last bomb on that shrine for. No, he's already got mapping. Never mind.
Pain
Never
doesn't
mind.
really do much for you when you're running a Cutlass.
I think I disagree.
I suppose, yeah, like when you get pushed back from the parries, the thing that behind you is going to take damage from the pain, but I think he's just looking to push forward, and he isn't really caring about the enemies behind him.
I mean, that is fair. The flip side is, though, that Blade Masters, shielded skeletons, you're getting through them in single hits now, which is saving you a bit of time. He does have an inordinate amount of damage, though, so it's not saving him a huge amount.
Yeah, that cursed potion he got from the last boss chest, though, not really great synergy with Nocturna, because you know, you're gonna be knocked if you get down to 1 heart there.
You're gonna be knocked.
Yeah, you're gonna be knocked down to 1 heart, and it's gonna be rough. Oh,
no. Okay. He's got it.
But losing the spiked ears in the process of that, so down to 3 damage Cutlass.
Which is still a really good weapon, but it's no 5 damage Cutlass. He's okay.
He's swapping off to try and get the regen to just immediately regen these cursed hearts back to normal hearts, which I think is the right way to go about this if you're going to use that cursed potion on Nocturna.
Yeah, not a bad move at all. On to Fortissimo 4.
Ring of War, though, kind of makes those Blade Masters a little bit tricky. Gonna regen off these skeletons. Just might even farm up the liches a little bit.
Good freeze, and was aware of when he had to stop as well. Lost his beat though, so no items here. He'll be down onto zone 5 with what is, you know, still a relatively safe build. I'm gonna regen off these bats. That's a good decision. I'm kind of aggrieved that Nocturna, being a bat, doesn't actually have any kind of synergy with bats. But I'm not sure what you would do. Oh, Progus is in a nasty situation here. That gap is
a little bit from Mint of, you know, the ability of the Cutlass to even use enemies behind you as a way to kind of speed yourself up a little bit. Just letting the Orca in that 5-1 exit room just kind of push him along towards the exit as he deals with enemies in front of him.
Exactly. One of the key things about that Cutlass is, you know, you got to use that parry not only to stop yourself getting killed, but use it to actually push yourself into different positions. Whoa, that arc!
Yeah, very nice use of the lightning there.
Yeah, that was...
very easy 5-3 layout here. The first room he comes to is the exit room.
Yeah, just taking his time here. I'm gonna through. Oh, I hate Spark Mages so much, and the gold ones are just. If you're running a base Cutlass, then it's the worst experience in the world.
I can imagine. But Dire Bat for his last boss, pretty easy. Last fight here is Coral Rift, which is pretty free with that freeze spell. I'm just gonna freeze him right up, and that's the game.
Yeah, and you see the parry usage as well there. You know, you just being able to wail on Coral Rift regardless of that drum tentacle. And yeah, tied at 1. So a 7:33 in game, a 7:49 RTA, a little bit quicker than Progus' victory. But Mint with a point on the board here, so keeping himself alive.
And this is our first one to go to race 3, is it not?
It is indeed. So
yeah, that's how you know you've got a pretty close race on your hands.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys, they look pretty similar in skill level. You got to be honest. Like, they're making similar good moves. They're making similar not so good moves. A really nice kind of level playing field. But playing for their tournament lives here, both of these guys, and they're off and running. So Progus Mint, round 3. And the winner of this race right here progresses to the semi-finals.
Okay. Yeah. the question about this race is
why is Mint pausing?
Where do you think Shrine of Darkness is going to come up? 1-1, 1-2, or 1-3?
You know what? I'm going to live on the wild side and say 1-3. Don't think it'll be another 1-2 Shrine of Darkness. It's old hat at this point. Game knows it has to appeal to newer players.
1-1 isn't a Shriner, so that's definitely out. Progus is going to be checking this blood shop. Not really seeing anything he wants. Could pick up that protection charm maybe, but yeah, otherwise that was a pretty weak looking shop.
Yeah, Mint's not even going to bother. I'm not sure if he's screen watching. I imagine he actually is. Just didn't even bother with the blood shop at all. I think generally, 1-1 blood shop. You don't gotta check it, but you should check it.
Yeah, bright torch there. Yeah, Mint just kind of gonna scoot around, or being really wishy-washy here about whether he wants to scoot around or just use a bomb. Gonna ultimately just use a bomb here.
Yeah, it's always a bad feeling when you have to do that because of tier 3 walls. Man.
What a shocker! That's not a Shrine of Darkness.
That's not a Shrine of Darkness. So no Zone 1 Shrine of Darkness. That's that's legitimately surprising.
It's a tournament first.
But yeah, Shrine of Chance there. Nothing major coming out of it either. Looks like Mint only bopped it once.
I think Progus bopped it a couple times. Didn't really get anything out of it.
that was actually quite nice from the Dove Charm. It did teleport that black skeleton on Progus' side, but it teleported him inside the same room, thankfully. A lot of times I've teleported 2, sometimes 3 enemies into the actual boss room, and it's awful. It just throws you off your rhythm.
Oh, Mint getting way off script on this Conga fight, but nice transformation back to human to just gain the parry, the necessary parries from the Cutlass.
Yep.
And then swapping back to bat form again to top off the health. Very well done with Mint, considering that the ghost teleporting into the arena really threw things off script.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a bad recovery at all. Impressively handled, especially switching between bat and Nocturna. Ring of Pain for both of these. No, sorry, Ring of Piercing.
Piercing. The new addition from the latest patch.
Yes.
Which, personally, I'm not a fan of the Ring of Piercing from a design standpoint. From like a strength standpoint, it's really good. But
I don't. Well, the nice thing about it,
standpoint, I don't like it.
I think the nice thing about the Ring of Piercing is, like, actually playing with it, it doesn't feel like top tier, which was like my concern. It's good, but I'm yet to see it really kind of come into its own.
It's not the strongest ring out there. I wouldn't even necessarily call it overpowered. My problem with it is that
it's another piercing
as a mechanic
thing.
Is kind of boring. It's essentially anything with shields, you get to ignore that shield, and a lot of stuff, a lot of the difficulty in later zones kind of derives from having to play around enemies that need multiple hits or need to be attacked in specific ways, like Blade Masters or Skeleton Knights.
Yeah, that's a totally fair comment. It is one of the more, I guess, kind of mechanics. That's just how you feel like you can put it in, but it's. Yeah.
But it is what it is what it is. We're probably going to see both racers run this very likely throughout the entire rest of this race, unless something better comes along, like Courage. Courage being one of the few things that pretty definitively still outclasses it.
Yeah, Courage is just really, really powerful, especially with a Cutlass. It's pretty crazy. Oh, okay, so the Duff Charm doesn't get rid of the electric orbs. I legitimately didn't know that.
Gotta watch, Cutlass does not help you parry against
environmental damage.
But yeah, Mint going out of his way to pick up that strength charm, which is going to be really great with that Cutlass.
Yeah. Oh, where did the white go? Okay, it went along there. It's still, and it's gone again.
So yeah, 2 damage piercing Cutlass, very strong. I think sees the cookies over in that shop, wants to go for them. Maybe you even wants to swap Ring of Might. No, just gonna go for the cookies. That's that's totally fair.
Yeah, I think the two damage on the Cutlass, especially with piercing, is enough. It's enough.
But yeah, kind of has to watch out here because Progus is kind of running away with this one.
Yeah,
Ooh, there's another one. Another situation where the Cutlass doesn't really do much for you. Getting squished up against the wall by a shove monster.
I'm not sure how I feel about that yet. Yeah, like I'm not sure if it's intended or if it's a bug. Like my gut is that it's a bug, but it makes total sense because technically shove monsters don't actually attack you. It's I don't know. I'm torn.
That makes sense to me. I mean, you can't really parry something that's hurting you by crushing you against a wall.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know whether you spotted that wall pig on Progus' side, but it actually activated, despite there being a Zone 4 wall in front of it.
Huh.
It didn't fire it out because it hit the wall, but it definitely charged its attack. That's interesting. Wow. I wonder who's going to be the first person to take damage from that because they break the wall.
Both racers on to Zone 4 now at this point. Both with a pretty strong build. Mint's build looking a little bit better with that, with that extra damage from the Strength Charm. But frequently being forced into bat form, I think just trying to regen a little bit of health and, getting tripped up by the water that Orc was stuck in, delaying his movement by a beat.
Yeah, Progus down to half a heart here. He didn't emergency bat though.
Mint, I think Mint's trying to dial the speed down a little too much here. Maybe just hoping that Progus is gonna go down to something. Because like going out of his way to kill unnecessary roots.
Oh, that's a bad telemonkey.
Oh yeah, this is a little bit scary, but I mean, Cutlass.
Parry
everything. Oh,
use your spell. Yeah.
Oh, emergency bat form. This is looking really sketchy. Oh, the double electro mage. Oh,
okay.
Just gonna barely sneak into the exit, but still on emergency bat and half a heart. Any damage here will kill him.
Yeah, has to be super duper careful here. Just go. You've one kill to get healed. There you go. That's it.
Okay, there we go. Back into human form. So now it's gonna have that safety buffer. And meanwhile, Mint back into emergency bat again. No health. Just looking to get one more kill to regen. Could swap back to human form now. I would honestly recommend doing so. There we go.
Please. Okay, there's some cookies in that.
Chainmail right there. Could grab that for a little bit of defense. No, I think maybe kind of just had a bit of a wake-up call, realizing that he's playing from very far behind at this point and just needs to floor it.
Yeah, Mint really doesn't have any other choice. He's just got to go.
The fire pig!
Oh man, that is brutal. We've all had it happen to us at some point, but on Nocturna as a bat, it's just that extra, that extra bit of freshness just to liven it up.
Yeah, I think Mint, unfortunately, wanting to, get a little bit of safety by using the health regen on the bat form, but ultimately, I think the way he was going about it was anything but safe. Just frequently kind of recklessly going into bat form to try and, squeeze out a little bit of regen here and there. Just kind of flip-flopping back and forth between the forms. That's, when you're in bat form, you're vulnerable to being one-shot. And that's not the case when you're in human form.
Yeah, exactly. You really have to be aware of your surroundings, even more so when you're in bat form, just because, again, even a small swarm, that can be the end of your day. It is that risky. Progus going the wrong way here, and he's in all kinds of trouble. This is an awful situation.
He's actually swapped off of the Cutlass too. He's on, Obsidian Longsword. Probably figured that the piercing would make this pretty trivial, but you still gotta, be careful to a degree.
Yeah, there was a trapdoor down there. Maybe would have considered taking it because just you're only on one heart. But manages to fight his way back through the swarm. He's down onto the Zone 5 boss. Dropped his multiplier just before he went in as well. That kind of sucks. All these teleports.
The Ring of Piercing going to make this a little easier. Those devils are going to go down in one hit. You don't need to take the time to break them out of the shells. And at this point, you could just... there we go. One more hit. Nope, losing the multiplier. There we go. just barely squeaking in under the 10-minute in-game time.
Yeah,
and Progus is gonna take this set.
Yeah, so GG's to Progus. I think we from both racers saw a lot more. They just seemed a lot more uncomfortable. The unfamiliarity seemed to ramp up a little bit, just with what to do and when to do it. A nasty death for Mint as well.